Hello, Kayla. Welcome to our live program. We are about to get started. Welcome, Keegan. Hello, everybody. Welcome to ThriveCast, our first episode of ThriveCast. Welcome. Wherever you're from in the world, welcome to our show. We're just about to begin ThriveCast today, episode 1 of season 1, our first ever ThriveCast through Andrews University. Super excited to be here today. Welcome, stay with us. Please invite your friends right now to join us. We're going to be together for the next about 35 minutes or so, and it's going to be an exciting day today to spend together on ThriveCast. My name is Dr. Dominique Gummelt. I am Andrews University's University Wellness Director, and I'm super excited today to be here today with you, and I hope you guys will enjoy being here today. Again, this is ThriveCast, and we're about to get started. We have a really exciting guest with us today, so stay tuned today. I am really excited to welcome you. If you are a student at Andrews University and you are here today because you also would like to earn co-curricular credit for this program, you can. At the end of our show, we will post the link into the chat so you can earn co-curricular credit for today's program today. So please invite your friends, invite people from around the world to join us today for ThriveCast, and we're about to get started. So welcome, everybody. I would love to see where you are tuning in from. Where are you joining us from? Please type into the chat, where are you from? I would love to see where you are located. Put it in the chat right now so I can see where you're tuning in from. Hi, Brianna. Hi, Michael. Hi, Louis. Nickley. Nice to see you. Hello, Jose. It is good to see you. Excellent. 49103. Super excited. Yes. You will get co-curricular credit by staying tuned on the program, and at the end of our program, we will post the link into the chat, okay? It's good to see you, everybody. Nice to see you. DR is in the house, Dominican Republic. I love seeing you here, guys. Feliz, nice to see you. Welcome. Hello. Write down Daytona Beach. Where are you from? Love seeing it. Okay, perfect. Yes, we will post the link at the end for how you can get co-curricular credit. We will put it in the chat, so stay tuned, stay with us, invite your friends. Coming from the Student Center, I love it, Keegan. Hello to the Student Center at Andrews University, Lamson Dorm. Nice to see you, excellent. I am tuning in today from Hanover, Germany. So I am actually tuning in from the future, and I'm happy to see you all wherever you're from. Bermuda, nice to see you as well. Another DR is in the house, excellent. So guys, today, again, this is ThriveCast, our new Instagram live show at Andrews University, sponsored by University Wellness, and we will be here every Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. and we will have exciting guests from around the world, and we're going to explore together how we can thrive in our lives and how we can become thrivers. And I am incredibly excited today to welcome and introduce our guest on the program today. He has been an amazing leader around the campus of Andrews University and also in our global community. And I am super thrilled today to welcome to the show Denard Fenaud. And some of you may know him. I'm about to pull him into our program, and we hope our technology works well. And I just want to tell you a couple things about Denard before he comes on the show. So Denard actually is from Fort Pierce, Florida. I saw some Florida people were in the house too. He's actually from Fort Pierce, Florida with Haitian descent. So I happen to know that he also speaks French, or the Haitian version of French. And I'm really excited that he's with us today. He has a background in athletics. He is passionate about helping people. He is currently studying at Andrews University for a dual degree to get his master's in divinity and social work. And today he will share with us all sorts of things, and I cannot wait to have him on the show. So give him a big welcome. Put in the chat a big applause with your favorite emoji to welcome Denard, and I'm going to pull him into our program right now. Denard, get ready. You're on the show. Just a minute. He should be here any second. Can I see an applause basically in the chat? That would be fantastic. Okay, let's wait. It's connecting. There he is. Denard, are you here? Are you with us?
I'm in the building.
Yay! It's great to look at you getting a lot of applauses in the chat. People are excited that you're here. Fantastic. Yes.
Awesome.
Welcome on the show, Denard. I'm so excited that you were willing to be the first guest ever on ThriveCast. How does that make you feel?
Hey, it's amazing. I just made Black History, everyone.
Yes,
Awesome. Hey,
yes. A
yes. Thanks for
big
having me. Thanks for having me.
No, I'm super thrilled, Denard. When we discussed about, the planning for this show, we're going to have a great season. We have lots of episodes coming up. And when we had that first episode planned, I was so thrilled that you accepted our invitation to be on the show today.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. So Denard, you actually have an incredible resume. You have done a lot of things.
Okay.
You are doing a lot of things. And I would love for you
Thank
to
you.
share with us, we'll start out this way. I'd love for you to share with us what you are currently doing for jobs, because you have multiple jobs. So why don't you
Yeah.
share with us some of the things that you're currently doing?
Currently at the university, and that's actually a great question. I'm excited to share at a university, at my university roles. I'm currently the Chief Wellness Ambassador for the graduate students, which I help promote the initiatives that we're doing here, such as ThriveCast. And also I get to partner up with Dominique with the Lift Project to facilitate some initiatives for the faculty. And then in addition to that, I'm also the co-wellness director for the Student Seminary Forum, where I get to actually do the same things I'm doing here, but specifically focusing it on our seminarians. And then outside of that context, within the community, I'm actually an evaluator at our local hospital, which is Spectrum Health Lakeland. And there I actually look at the social determinants of health and evaluate it and how it affects the communities there. And then in addition to that, I actually get a chance to collaborate in a way with my brother with a couple of church plants that we're helping out with, being a teaching discipleship pastor there. And most importantly, my current role here, it just started as of June 16th, 2020. I'm now a newfound father. And so that has been the most life achievement that I've just taken a full joy of. So that role will never stop. And it has been the biggest role and capacity I've had to fill, and I'm still learning it. So that's all I have currently.
I literally think you just made also history in redefining the word busy for the world. I mean, for real. I mean, you just really did. I'm so proud. In fact, Michael just wrote here, he says, my bro got a lot of jobs. I can only underscore that. I mean, you do. You have an incredible amount of different responsibilities. And as you just topped it, you could have cut it off anywhere and it would have been a lot. And then at the end, you shared that you now are also a new father. And I am just incredibly, I have known you, I've been privileged to know you for quite some time. And I am repeatedly impressed of how you are able to juggle all these different things in your life. So it's very impressive. But let me say thank you. Let me say thank you. I want to say thank you because the roles that you are doing, all of them, every single one you just listed, is about service to your community. Everything you're doing is about improving the lives of other people. And that is an incredible, awesome thing to view, that someone is saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going to spend my time. And I personally have been extremely inspired by you. So thank you. Thank you for sharing what it is that you do tonight.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No, so brilliant. So Denard, you shared already that, of course, you're a father. So that's a new role in your life, a new adventure, I'm sure, as well. And I already shared with the audience that you are also working on 2 degrees at the same time. You're working on your master's in divinity and your master's in social work on top of all that.
Yeah, shout out to my social work department and shout out to my seminarians as well. So thank you for all the support. Yes.
That's brilliant. So really, truly, Denard, you are a student at Andrews University, and that's why I'm also super glad that you're on the show today. We have a lot of students that are tuned in today, watching as well. And so we are today together, you and I are going to have a grand conversation about how we are made to thrive. And I'm
Hmm.
really excited about this conversation. I know you can shed a lot of great insights on this topic. And it is my hope and my goal to everyone viewing right now that today, that you can take from our conversation something that will inspire you, something that will motivate you, so that wherever you are in your journey right now, that you can find
Hmm.
something that will help you to lift you to that next level. And I mean, this is not just about physical well-being. This is about well-being holistically. In fact, made to thrive encompasses a lot of different dimensions. Okay. And before I go into more detail, I want to actually ask Denard, we're going to have 3 questions on this show that I will ask all
Uh-oh.
my guests on this show. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to start with those 3 questions, and then we're going to dive into the material. Okay. So I hope our viewers, welcome to all the viewers that are just now tuning in. Welcome. This is ThriveCast, our brand new show through Andrews University Wellness. And this is Denard Fenaud. He's my special guest today. And please invite your friends.
Shoot.
You have a button at the bottom of your screen. It looks like a little paper airplane. I think that's what it is. And you push it, and you can directly invite your friends, your people to this show. We would love to have anybody join us right now. So please do that right now. Invite them there. And here we go, Denard, 3 questions for you. You're the first person to ever answer these questions. Okay, here we go. Number 1, what is your favorite fruit and why?
Oh, this is a very important question for me because it's something that most people don't know about me, and then it's something that most people don't know about my fruit. But my favorite fruit is the cucumber. And there's numerous reasons, but I would say specifically because it actually holds, it's 95% water retention. It's great for antioxidants, which are great for the skin, great for energy boosting. So lo and behold, those that do not know or love cucumbers, you're missing out on 3/4 of your life.
So this is great. I told everybody, hopefully you can take lessons from this. So lesson number 1, eat cucumbers. Yes?
Yes,
That's a great lesson.
yes.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Wonderful answer. So we've got the cucumber. That's awesome. That's going to be in here forever. Eat the cucumber. Okay, question number 2. Describe your current mood using weather.
Mm. Hmm. All right, you gave me a tough one. If I were able to describe it, I would start here. You know how when you see the horizon and you see the sun perfectly kiss the horizon,
Yes.
and it's almost like it's a perfect day, and then you also see the morning dew gently resting on a blade of grass. You see the peacefulness outside in nature. That is what's going on in the inside. However, I'll just put this one one thing that creates the chaos, like you would call it a thunderstorm. It's when I enjoy this piece and all of a sudden I hear this screeching noise from afar, and it's the cries of my son. So there's this mixture of things that's happening, but for the most part, you'll find me peacefully resting against the horizon.
I love it. What a beautiful illustration of that. And honestly, I can resonate with that. So that was wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for that description. And it was, it was real because that's your reality
Yeah.
right now too. This is where we live it. We can paint these beautiful pictures of the ideal situation, but oftentimes, or shall I
Hmm.
say, the majority of the times, the ideal is rarely uninterrupted, right?
Well said. Well
Mm-hmm.
said.
Mm-hmm. No, great answer. Okay, ready. Question number 3. Here we go. Drum roll, big drum roll. I hope everyone else is doing a drum roll with me at home. Shh, okay, number 3. What are you not very good at?
I knew you was gonna throw a wrench in there. That's a very difficult question. Um, I mean, just to be humble, I would say there's very few things that I'm not good at. No, but you would know better than I. I might be giving my age here, but I struggle with Instagram Live. I don't get the concept. I don't get the concept of having to wait for someone to go live to see it, and then all of a sudden just requesting to join. That's why I'm always a Facebook fan. So that's one thing I would say I'm not good at.
So
Look
really,
at Mike laughing at me.
I know I see it too. It's brilliant. So here's the thing though, Denard. We talked about how, of course, this show is meant to really help people to live up to their next level, to live their full potential, right? And
Yes.
to learn things and to grow. So I would say we have already done something in your life because you are just now growing because today is officially your first ever Instagram live, right?
That's right. That's right.
So, so I think that's brilliant, and I'm really, really happy that you're here. And I bet you love it. I'll bet you love being here and to interact with these beautiful people that are on our show today. They're from all over the
Yeah.
place. You saw this earlier. We have people here from Dominican Republic, Belize, from the dorms. I mean, really, truly. So,
Dominique,
wonderful. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
gotta give a shout out to my wife real quick. She's on the line making actually I said on the live making fun of me as well. And then I see Jose. So I want to give shout out to a couple of people that just making fun of me real quick. But I know this is your show. Anyone that knows me, I come to take over things. So I actually have a very interesting question that I think I would like to pose the questioner. Is that all right?
Dude, I love this. Okay, so you totally just got me. Okay, now I'm getting nervous
Okay,
on my
cool, cool,
chair
cool.
over here. Okay.
Cool. All right. So if you were able to describe, and I want details from the minute details, your favorite delicacy or dessert, what would that be and why?
This is total buster, right? Because I'm the wellness director, right? At Andrew. So
Yep, I'm
so
exposing you.
I see that. I see that. So really the true answer I mean, the right answer should be I don't eat dessert, right? But that would be a lie. That would be a big lie. And
Uh-huh.
that's what we're going to do. Okay. So great question. So I will tell you my absolute, and I'll go into detail, my absolute favorite ever dessert that I very much enjoy very frequently is
Hmm.
really qualitative, 100% just regular milk Lindt chocolate. So for me, I
Okay.
mean, like, so if I eat a meal and I envision my dream dessert, it is literally a
Hmm.
bar of milk Lindt chocolate. But now comes the important part. It has to
Hmm.
be just slightly melted. It cannot be out of
There
the
we go.
it can't be out of the refrigerator. It has to be definite room temperature, a little bit warmer.
Hmm.
And then with it, a cup of hot cocoa, Belgian chocolate, European style,
Come on now.
with whipped cream on it. And then you take that chocolate and you just dunk it a little bit into that hot cocoa and you take a nibble.
Hmm.
That's
Come
it.
on now. Can we get an amen from everybody? Come on now.
I
Thanks for sharing.
exposure, big exposure right there. Yes, yes, absolutely. It's my absolute favorite. And if you have not tried that, here's my official recommendation for you. So you will,
Okay.
yeah, so you'll get the full experience of that European experience. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to try it now.
All right. Well, thank you for that question. That was very good. You definitely threw me off my little path here, which is good. That's a good thing. So,
Anytime, anytime.
exactly. I love somebody said we live for the details. Somebody just wrote that down here. So that was good. Thank you so much for listening. Okay. So like I said earlier today, Denard, we're going to talk about the
Hmm.
subject of made to thrive. And I really appreciate the fact that you are so enthusiastic that you're wearing a shirt with that exact logo. I mean, this is real support right there. So made to thrive. So I have a question for our viewers. So I hope the viewers are viewing right now and listening. And so my question to you is, I'll give you 30 seconds, get ready to type into your phone or wherever you are. When you hear the word thrive, what comes to mind? Just let's do a little word game. Thrive, what are the words you associate with thrive? Type it in, type it in. Michael needs 2 times Denard. That's what he just said. Excellent, excellent. Okay, viewers, tell us, what do you think of or what comes to mind? Life, I love it. Melanin, sorry. Glow, grow, grow. Very good,
Mm,
very good. Accomplishment. You got that one, Denard.
that's good.
Yeah.
Happiness
Mm-hmm.
and abundance.
Love it.
Rachel, hey, success.
Yep, hard work. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Michael Nixon wants a double X. And we also have success, We have balance. These are good.
These are
Vitality and energy.
happiness again.
Happiness.
Level up. I love that.
Level up. Let's go.
Plentiful. That's awesome.
Plentiful.
Brilliant. Thank you. Hope. Very cool. Those were really good words, Denard. Same question to you. Okay, we'll do that same game. So you saw it, it's that wholeness. I love it. More. Okay, so Denard, when you hear the word thrive, for you, what comes to mind? What are like the top 3 words that come to mind for you?
You know, I'm also a seminarian, so theologian. I automatically think increase. Automatically think increase. And the next 2 words would be a combination. It would be best life. So those are the 3 things that come to mind: is increase and best life.
That is really cool. I love how you comboed that last one, the best life. That is brilliant. I love that. Very, very cool. So Denard, undoubtedly, we are living in some really, really different times. Change is really a word of the year. Change is something that we've all experienced this year in multiple different ways and perspectives. So when you go through overwhelming times, whatever they are for you, okay, when you go through overwhelming times, how do you keep yourself positively inspired when things are tough?
Wow, that's a great question. I would actually just like to say that the Made to Thrive model and mantra is something that I now believe and live out simply because I've seen it, the efficacy of it in my own life, you know, and here's how. And I'll just share this. It's an intimate moment. My wife and I, as I just shared previously, we welcomed our son on June 16th. However, things did not go as we planned. And in general, just we planned for a natural birth, and we had to have a C-section, and stress was arising. Work still was piling up. And one of the things, and also learning this from working with you, Dominique, is also just isolating the issues that are at hand. And then also reflection points, just writing what's going on and how you're feeling. And then one thing that I learned recently to do is to actually just take some time to step away from all of my activities, to disconnect, to reconnect. And so those are some things that I did that actually helped with actually isolating, identifying, and then also disconnecting to reconnect. But I love it because another word that I would actually like to throw out when I think about just our Made to Thrive model is this aspect of flourishing. I believe they're synonymous, but it's also, it's seen when you're stretched thin, how you will react and use all the tools you were given. So thank you for that question.
No, I mean, it's such an important, you threw out so many good impulses there. I was trying to really catch them. But the phrase that I love that you just talked about is also disconnect to reconnect, right? So I love that phrase. And I think in our time that we're in right now, like you say, when things are overwhelming, oftentimes that can be a key feature just to actually find some peace, some reflection time, something to actually grasp what's going on. I think sometimes when times are overwhelming, one of the things we don't do is we don't even let it get to, we're afraid to let it get to us, whatever is overwhelming, instead of actually embracing it, to experience it, to be honest with ourselves so we can reflect, disconnect, so we can recharge and reconnect and find a path forward in this process.
Well said. Well said. I love the way you talk about embracing the moment. And that's something I had to learn how to do. I remember you were sharing this with me a lot. Like I was very dismissive of my emotions and the challenges that ahead of me. But now I realize that if we're made to thrive in the sense where we are modeling this aspect of what our creator and our purpose should be, I just think about a bridge. What is a bridge if there's no suspension and tension in it? So now I'm learning that to face the difficulties that are in front of me requires me not to just face them alone, but I would like to also say this is as a shout out to my wife and you and all the other supporters here. I personally believe that wellness and also just Made to Thrive conceptually is a model that is best fostered in community. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. It makes, I mean, that's such an important point because we're throwing out all these words we associate with that, which the majority of those words were really associated really with self. And what you're bringing into the
Yes.
picture is this vital idea that in order to thrive, we need community. We need that community in there.
Yes.
And as we are exploring Made to Thrive, which you already threw in there, Made to Thrive is our university, Andrews University model for well-being.
Hmm.
And we believe that every single person has been made to thrive. And our model showcases that we, in fact, are made to experience and do a lot of different things in terms of our own person, but then also as a community. And so that we
Yeah.
consistently move dynamically between self-work and community work, giving, taking, and this balance between the two
Hmm.
that will really, truly move us forward as a whole, right? To level up. So I love that you mentioned the community part. So in fact, thrive, the word thrive, you just said flourish. I love that word, by the way. I think that's a
Hmm.
great word. And I was, of course, Googling again all the definitions that we have for thrive. And what you just said, just real quick, so we can read this. It said, in one of the definitions says, to progress toward or realize a goal despite or because of circumstances.
Mm.
And
Wow.
and so that question I was asking you, when you think about
Wow.
experiencing overwhelming times, one of the key things that I heard you say also is that regardless of circumstance,
Hmm.
we have power to still thrive
Hmm.
because we were made to thrive,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Well
So,
said.
no.
And I hate to get all churchy, but it's in me. So I just share this one verse that I think actually I'll share two verses. I have pastoral ministry in my background as well. So I think two verses that highlight this very well is the verse that we find, and you hear it normally quoted a lot in regards to the capacity to do beyond yourself. Um, is Ephesians 3, verse 20. It says, now unto him that is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that you can ask or even think of, but according to the power that worketh within you. And in line with that, you have 1 Corinthians 2, verse 9, that says that I love it because it says, eyes have not seen nor ears have heard what God has prepared in the hearts of men. So the capacity to do has always been birthed within us. It's these challenges, external or internal, that actually, the way I would see it, is actually activating that potential to come to
Mm-hmm.
life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's only an amen to that. That was brilliant. I love that. You
Thank you.
just captured that so well, so well. Okay, Denard, on to our next question. I'm
Cool.
really interested because you just brought out this point of community. In other words, other people in our lives are an
Hmm.
essential part of thriving in every possible way.
Hmm.
And so I would like to know, share with us, what individual in your life has been the most inspiring and why?
Yeah, I think without a doubt, I would say my wife. And you about to make me tear up, but my wife, and I'm not trying to do this just to get cool points, but the reality of it is, you do not know the extent of someone until you live with them.
Mhm,
And then you're forced to live with your own flaws.
mhm,
But within community, we start to find accountability, responsibility, but also love. I don't know if this is a word, but lovability. And so one thing that I love about my wife is her capacity to be patient with me beyond what I have and constantly have done outside of the scope of what we've agreed on, but seeing how she balances out being a mother, finding her voice as a individual woman, working within her field, and then in addition to that, journeying with her own wellness. So I would say that my wife has been the most inspiring and aspirational thing that I've seen because she's living it all out in front of me.
mhm.
She's bearing it all, vulnerability, and so I would last likely to say like to say this is in this platform, I now realize that my capacity as a male to understand everything that she's going through is limited but my willingness just to see, watch, she gives me just a glimpse of all the things that she does and why that helps me be a better man. So I just want to say, first and foremost, shout out to my wife and thank you for being the most inspiring person in my life.
Wonderful, wonderful words to your wife. It is just, it touches me because I don't take something like that for granted. I mean, that is not necessarily true for many couples that are there, but it showcases again the beauty of honestly openness to grow. You just pointed that out so nicely to saying when two people come together that, it shows you your own flaws, aka there is room to grow. Suddenly you gain a different perspective. And again, it brings us to this point of, in order to thrive, you have to also face maybe the hurdles and the things that you don't want to face in order to move further, in order to level up. We can't level up if we're not willing to also train and maybe hurt a little bit in the process, because in order to get there, I mean, you already know I'm going back into my sports realm of things now, right?
Go ahead.
That's just kind of where that comes from. But what I love about what you just said too is the necessity in our lives to have people, and not necessarily many. I mean, you talked about one person, but we need to have people in our lives we can trust fully, that we can be fully vulnerable with, honest with, whether that is a partner or whether that is a best friend or a mentor. But the necessity of thriving and living in community and well-being requires us to actually look for a person. I just want to say something really important here, because I have this conversation a lot. Some of us have met these people in our lives. They were just there. We crossed paths and whatever, they were there. But that's not true for everybody. There's people here right now that may not have that person in their life right now. And if you don't, I just want to encourage you to go meet new people, because there's brilliant people out there. And the more you go out to connect with people, and whether that right now is via technology or otherwise, literally, I have one of my closest people in my life right now, we met on Facebook. I mean, this stuff happens. And so I just want to encourage you, go out there, really find community. If you don't have it, don't wait. Go out and find it, because it helps us to thrive. And I know it's also kind of scary to do that, maybe, but at the end of the day, this is why it's beautiful, because we're all human and we all share that, that fear, to connect. So I appreciate your answer and sharing, your personal, intimate story of your connection. And that's very encouraging. Thank you for that. So Denard,
I think someone in the background wanted me to interrupt you one last time.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Stop it. You stop it. Okay. Do not interrupt Dominique anymore. I had to get them. But the question they wanted me to pose, like, they heard that you played multiple sports and did many things in that arena, and they were questioning it. Okay, I got it. Relax. But they wanted to know basically what all the sports that you played, and what is one sport that you wish you could play but haven't played yet?
I love this. This is great. Thank you so much. Thanks for the questions coming from that wall. That was brilliant. Okay. So I will give you a clue, right? I'll give you a clue. So I was born and raised in Germany, and I'm currently in Germany. That's where I'm tuning in from. And you may or may not know this. I mean, the world pretty much seems to agree on this. They think that in Germany, we pretty much only have two options of sports. We only know two things over here. So there's really only two options. I don't know. Maybe the audience. Let's see if the audience can guess this.
Yeah, let's see that. I need help.
Let's phone a friend. So why don't you put in the chat, what sport do you think I played competitively? I'm just curious to see what people think. I always get very interesting answers for that. Let's see if anybody puts anything in the chat.
It's not badminton. It's not. Is it rugby?
What makes you think? It's not a bad guess. It's not a bad guess. Okay, something's coming. Someone says tennis.
Tennis. I like that.
Yeah, someone says tennis.
Is that
soccer or volleyball? Soccer. Here we go. Another one. Put rugby.
Okay.
Soccer. Okay. Let's see if anything else is coming up. If anybody else is putting anything in there, what sport? Water polo. I love that person. That's great. Very good. Okay.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
That is a great one. I actually have tried water polo. So, so I have tried it.
Ah.
But no.
Oh, wait, someone, you got one more, swimming.
Swimming. Okay. So, yes, but also tennis. Okay. So here's the answer to that. So my sport that I really competed in very focusedly was tennis, indeed. So great job, whoever gets that.
Okay.
Tennis was my sport, and I actually played tennis since I was 5. I know, ballet. I saw. Okay,
Wow.
I will have to say I did do ballet for a few days, and I did swim for a few years as well. But tennis was my sport, definitely. And I ended up coming to the United States when I was 16, and I was recruited in the United States to play for college. And so I played tennis through college, and I had the privilege to work with one of the greatest coaches in California. And my coach actually used to play for the Green Bay Packers, and he had an injury, and he switched over to tennis and became one of the greatest coaches in tennis and was very successful, winning a lot of championships. And I was very privileged to be part of his championship team the last year before he retired. And so, I learned a lot of great lessons. And then secondly, I actually competed for many years in downhill skiing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that. What are you hiding from me? You're a stranger.
It's like, what? But it's like, so I did slalom and giant slalom. So that was, I loved the giant slalom because it was fast. I like speed. And so giant slalom was my thing. And so, just cruising down the slopes, breathing in the air, seeing the horizon, it kind of like connects you, you're just in the middle, and it's incredible. So yeah, so those are my 2 sports. Man, you got me all off track. That was fun. So thank you.
That's good. My bad. Made to thrive. I got the shirt. That's good. Let's go.
Made to thrive. Okay. No, seriously, a great question. I appreciate that, because really at the end of the day, we are all made to move. Okay. So all of us are made to move. And in order to thrive, we have to move. Without movement, there's no thriving, right? I mean, there's also, if you think about physics, okay, everyone here that's here has taken some physics at some point in their life. Basic law of physics, okay? Object that is in motion will stay in motion. Object that's rest will stay at rest. And so what that means is you cannot thrive. Thriving, being flourishing, going forward, you can't do that if you're not moving. You have to move. Your body has to move. Your mind has to move. Your spirit has to move. Your heart has to move. If it's not moving, you're stuck. You're not thriving. So, and the only person that can actually actionize movement is you. That's it. You are the only one that can move forward, right? And so thriving is truly moving.
I like the person in the chat that said with my chair though. Yeah. If you have the chair, you can actually do that. And you made a great point too, Dominique, and because one of the things that I was introduced to as the graduate student wellness ambassador is the concept of movement and how we were also created to move. When I think about babies within the womb, they're constantly moving. And the one thing you hear people say, my wife was constantly saying, can you come feel him kick, as he came out, and then Dr. Darren Morton just talks about how like a lot of the studies now are showing that movement is essential to us actually succeeding within our studies as students.
Yes.
And so now that's helping me realize that even within my classroom setting to have movement in regards to my position. And I learned this from some of what Dr. Darren Morton said. And this is the last thing I'll say is that just movement, your position determines your disposition. So like if you're sitting, try 10 seconds of the day, just try to make sure that every other second that you get a chance to stand up, don't just go to the bathroom, do some stretching while you're in class, get some movement. And I believe that once we do that, those things will also help and transfer over into our studies.
Absolutely. I really appreciate you saying that. And we have a good question here, and we will answer a couple of questions in just a minute. So I'll get back to that question that someone has posted here. So I'll answer that in a minute. But let's get to a key question right now that I think is vital, because that's something that I would like to hear from all my guests that are on the show, some wisdom to share with everyone viewing. So Denard, if you had to pick the 5 things in life that are essential for you to thrive, what would those 5 things be? And I know that's kind of a big
Wow.
question to think about, but maybe you can take a second, and I will ask, while you're thinking about this question,
Hmm.
I will ask the viewers to think about that question for yourself. What are the 5 things in life that will help you to thrive the most? I'm not talking about things that you're already doing. I'm talking about the things that you know will help you thrive the most, whether or not we actually do that or have that, but many of us already know what that might be. So think about that. What are the 5 things you would say, Denard, maybe
Hmm.
from the perspective of a student right now living in COVID times, was having multiple
Hmm.
jobs, like from that perspective?
Hmm. Yeah. I think I have a response to immediately 3. This comes from my social work background. Just making sure more than self-care, but have a self-management tool,
Mm-hmm.
which would be inclusive of, this is where my other 2 things would come in. Time management that would actually differentiate the difference between what's important versus urgent. Um, from my uh, theological background, I believe first and foremost, one of the key antidotes to any and everything is having a Christ-centered life. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I believe just having a relationship with Christ changes our worldview, our perspective on humanity and ourselves, what you see in the mirror. And then the other 2 things, this might sound so minute to most people, but it's something that was very fleeting as I started aging. It's just remembering to smile. Finding that sense of joy. It's free, but it's something that's so fleeting. We forget to do it. We're only reminded to do it when we see someone else do it. And Dr. Darren Morton also pointed that out, like how we have these innate aspects of compassion and empathy that shows through our body, like yawning. When you see someone yawn, you naturally will probably yawn. So the same with smiling. The last thing I would say is get up and get out. Like I don't know what that would look like, but for me, recently, just reconnecting in the sense of with nature.
Mm-hmm.
It may be just looking at something small, the colors of the butterfly. Or I remember back in 5th grade, we checked out the sediments within rocks, and I don't know when's the last time I've done that. I don't even know when's the last time I've been to the beach. So those would be my 5 things.
That was brilliant. Real quick, Denard, in short terms, let's summarize those 5 things, because I think these are things that our viewers want to write down real quick.
Okay, so I have self-care, time management. I also have nature.
Mm-hmm.
I have smiling, and
Mm-hmm.
also Christ-centered relationship.
Brilliant, brilliant. I love this. And I love how you said earlier, when you talked about time management as well, you talked about
Mhm.
important versus urgent. I think that is a real skill to learn, to identify what's important and what's urgent, so that you can actually
Yeah.
prioritize how you go through your day. So that was a brilliant impulse as well. So wonderful. Thank you for sharing those things. And one of the funnest parts about hosting the
Mhm.
show is that you get to meet and talk to brilliant people. I just learned so many things, guys. And honestly, I do have a pen here, and I do write on the side when I hear those type of things. And I'm going to write that down. I mean, important versus urgent. I mean, that's one of those things that you can easily, lock away, an impulse you can take away. I think that's wonderful. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that. And while I have an array of other questions I could ask you, we do have to watch the time for our show today. So I want to make sure that we give our viewers a chance to ask a couple of questions. And we already had a question, so I want to dive into that question that was there. And I believe the question,
Okay.
while I cannot see it on my screen anymore, but the question was really if you have any suggestions of how to really balance school and study time versus working out time. I think that was sort of the question that was there.
Yes. Yes. Great question.
Yeah.
Great
So
question. I want to
go
defer
ahead.
to you on that. No,
Okay.
because I'm honestly still learning that, to find that balance. So please
Yeah.
share.
No, I think that's a great question, and I think that it goes back to really what Denard just talked about. First and foremost, the big picture is time management and setting priorities in your life. And one of the priorities,
Mhm.
as we just talked about, is that movement is essential for any type of thriving, right? And so if you end up
Yes.
spending all day sitting and studying, but you're not taking care of making sure your body moves enough throughout the day, you're actually doing your body disservice, because you're actually interrupting your ability to concentrate, to study, to retain, and all the brain functions and cognition functions that you need to study and to perform in school. So whenever I get a question of how schoolwork relates to working out, I always like to say this: movement time should always precede study time. Always.
Yeah, that's good.
In other words, like if you want to talk about priorities, if you know you have this massive, you have classes and you have to study and you have tests, your first answer to how to prioritize this, you should go move. Because even if you move just a little, you will actually help your body and mind to get to the next level, so that you can maximize your own strength to actually study better and to learn better and to remember things better. And I could break out lots of testimonials on that subject, because I've worked with students for many years, and it's always true. So that's the answer to that question. So if you think that it's better to study 5 hours, and they say, well, when I'm done studying, I'll reward myself to go work out, that mindset is quite frankly wrong. Okay, because from a physiological perspective, it is not actually helping yourself to thrive. So I always say something is better than nothing. And you said this earlier too, moving a lot throughout the day. So when you're in classes, don't be afraid to stand up and move. Tell your instructor, I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit for 45 minutes because it's not good for our bodies. I'm going to move around. Okay. That's fine. Do that. Make sure in between classes, you take 5 minutes to take a quick, fast walk around. So the key here is balance, is move a lot whenever you can, move as much as possible, and working out like an actual fitness workout, schedule that, but schedule that as a priority so that it doesn't always become the last thing on the list. Because look, I mean, can I be real talk here for a minute? So that's great.
Please do.
So that's great. You go to school, you get your degrees, you have your PhD, and then you're 35 and you're so stressed out, you're sedentary, your lipid levels are horrible because you've been sitting most of your life. And when you're 38, you have a heart attack. So that's nice. So you have a PhD and a heart attack, and you may or may not survive that. And so drastic, I understand, but I'm trying to paint the picture here that as you're looking at priorities and how to balance, keep in mind that your well-being and how you can thrive in every area impacts the other area. And so if you move and you actually allow your body to move, then you can benefit from that. Like you said earlier, we have plenty of studies that show that students who move lots and who also work out will perform better in school without studying more. It is just an automatic, it's a cause and effect sort of scenario, right? So my answer, do you want to add something? Feel free.
I mean, I'm just gonna, I guess I can share my testimonial. I did notice the difference of just the blood circulation and oxidation increasing when I would actually wake up first thing in the morning, do my stretching and go on a slight, just a short run or do a quick workout. I just felt less rush throughout the day, and I felt like I was able to get my day started a bit earlier in a way. So I wasn't just groggy in class, lackadaisical and things of that nature. I was already alert, and I was also ready to respond to whatever the day was bringing towards me. So I definitely would second what you said in regards to not just making time for working out, but make it a priority. So thanks for sharing that.
No, thank you for underscoring that. And I think truly that you gave us so many great impulses today, Denard, with your answers, with your insights, with your experiences. And I appreciate all of what you shared, all your personal stories. And I think you and I can probably talk for the next 10 hours and we're still talking about the subject, which is awesome. And I love doing that. But at the end of the day, I think it is clear that you saw today with Denard here and his testimony of how he lives his life, that if you want to thrive, you can, because you were made to thrive. Every single one of you was created extraordinary to thrive in every way. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are, because we have a choice every day, okay? We cannot always influence the circumstance or the context. We can't. But what we can do is we can choose how to respond to that context or circumstance. And our response and the mindset that we adopt towards that situation will help us to either thrive or to stay put and stall. And at the end of the
Wow.
day, because we are made to thrive, I do personally believe very much that living a life of making good choices for our mind, our body, our spirit, fostering meaningful connections, giving to the world, like you so awesomely showcased through your example, all those elements together provide an environment of actually thriving and, in essence, worshiping God because He created us to thrive. And so, to me,
Wow.
that is truly my final words today to everyone who listened. Please know that every single one of you is important, special, beautiful, extraordinary, and you were made to thrive. And at Andrews University, we are committed to help you thrive. We are made to thrive. And so ThriveCast is here to inspire you, to give you motivation. I'm super excited that we actually had our first episode today with our special guest, Denard,
Hey.
our graduate student, but also University Chief Wellness Ambassador, amongst many other wonderful titles that he has. We want to offer to you that we're here for you, to help you thrive while you're here. Please connect with Denard and I on Instagram individually. Connect with AU Live Holy as well, because we post lots of resources. And I see in the chat, we now have here the link for co-curricular credit. So if you were tuned in today and you want to earn co-curricular credit because you listened and you participated, click on that link in the chat and complete the Google form in order to earn co-curricular credit. And so with that, Denard, I'm going to give you the final word on your end before I close the show today.
Well, I just want to say thank you once again as well. And shout out to everyone for being awesome, to staying with us throughout this time. And I am offended though, Dominique, before we go, this is just a serious note. I'm just going to tell you, I had to put you on blast in front of everybody. Wall here did not get a shout out for participating. And so I would like for you to correct that, because I will not allow Dominique to close the show without acknowledging you. Go ahead, please, Dominique. Thank you.
No, I appreciate the wall has been a very important part of the show. I appreciate the challenge. I love being challenged. I love being surprised. You just made me very happy, Wall. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And I see, okay, so what we will do with the link, we'll try to make sure that we get it out from Student Life to those that have attended. And if you can as well, what I would say, if you would like, just email Dominique or I to let us know that you were here today in the meantime. Some people got it working.
Yeah, some people got it working. I would simply say that if the link did not work for you, let me actually post it one more time in the comment feature. Let's see if we can make that work. Let me see if we can make that work. Maybe not. Hold on. Oh, somebody else just did it again. Thank you for that. Whoever just did that, Cy, I appreciate
Steve.
that. Oh, that's Steve Yeagley. I said Cy.
Yeah.
Well done. Copy and paste into your browser. Okay, perfect. We have our rescuer right there. So thank you all very much. Denard, thank you for being here today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for making this world a better place, truly. And I'm looking forward to our next episode next week, Tuesday, ThriveCast, episode 2, season 1. Come back 11:30 a.m. Invite your friends, and we will talk next week about other subjects related to how you can live a life of thriving. So thank you so much. Take care and have a great day, and lots of love from Germany. Bye-bye.